I could be totally mistaken here, but I think it somehow lost the video. I think I might have screwed something up. Oh well. Anywho, good morning, guys. So I don't know if you have seen. Well, I know John is in chat, and I know he has actually seen this project because I mentioned this to him. So I had actually released an initial preview for something I had been working on for a while. I had this kind of working. It was really hacky. I always hated it internally, just because it was a pain in the butt to get fonts working on the native platforms. But with Xamarin.Forms 4.5, we got this new embedded fonts feature, which is really awesome. Like, I really, really love it. It's so easy to use, and it makes having fonts that you can just put in a Nuget package and consume it. You don't have to do anything. Like on iOS, you don't have to go into the info plist and say, hey, I have this font, blah, blah, blah. Like, that was always a pain in the butt to me. So that's all gone. It's beautiful. I love it. Anyway, so what we have here is the AvantiPoint MobileToolkit fonts that I've open sourced and kind of converted this over. Good morning, Waldemar. And James, I didn't officially say good morning to you. I saw you wave there as well. But we have this, if fonts were a pain, Mfractor made them easier. Well, Mfractor has nothing on this, Harrison. Nothing at all, okay? Now, if you're using, a font for just like regular text or whatever, just use an embedded font, call it a day. Way easier. You can, use the font file name. You don't have to remember, because this was always one of the things that was a pain in the butt, right? Like, every single time you wanted a custom font, not only did you have to go and deal with it on the native platform, because that was annoying enough as is, right? Because you have a single font. Why do you have to duplicate that font for every single platform head that you have? If you're one of the people that's using UWP, now you got to go put it on UWP. If you're using Android, you got to go put it on Android. You got to put it on iOS. You got to put it on whatever other targets you might have. And that was always stupid. I hate duplication. And so, and of course, long time ago, because I understand MS Build, I deduplicated a lot of stuff, but that's maybe a different story. But you still have just a lot of work that you had to do on the platform level, and then you had to go into your Xamarin.Forms app, and you had to know how to reference that font based on the platform that everything was running on. So you had to have some funky on platform, and I know a lot of people, they basically had a static resource string right in your application resources, and you're like, hey, it's this font, blah blah blah, and then you just you did your logic there, but that was always a pain, right? Now you still kind of have to have that resource and do the static resource thing. Probably would be the best thing to do. If you want a traditional font, traditional fonts are because you have text, right? So you're gonna have to set your text, and then you're gonna have to set your font family. But there is this other kind of use case, which is icon fonts, and I love icon fonts. Of course, I come from a web background. My pre-Xamarin days were in the web, and so I always used to use Font Awesome. I've always loved Font Awesome, and it's always bugged me that it wasn't very easy to use. And so I've actually, for right now, it's just Font Awesome. I am going to be adding some other fonts, by the way, but right now, Font Awesome free is shipping via Nuget. All you have to do is install one or more of these packages, and away you go. If you want to introduce your own font, your own icon font, maybe you've created a custom icon font, maybe you just have one that I'm not providing here, which, by the way, feel free to submit PRs. If you have some sort of common font, I know Microsoft has a dev font, a dev icon font. I know Google has one, right? The material icons. So we'll probably be adding those as well. But this really makes it very, very simple. All you have to do in your app startup is just say, hey, register fonts. Here's my font. So I've kind of provided a very easy way to do this. And then, in your actual application, right? Like you have a couple different ways. And I just refactored this. So in the preview that's out there right now, this last one is not really an option for you, and I'll get to that in a second. But this right here totally is, right? So if you go to Font Awesome's website, like and you go find the icon that you want, it's going to show you like traditional use in the web, right? Like, okay, do the alias, like the alias class, right? Which is like Font Awesome Regular, that sets which font, and then do FA dash whatever the icon. And so you're now able to just put that direct into this extension, and you can just put it into the text. You don't have to worry about the font family. This extension is going to set the font family for you, which is pretty awesome. And you'll notice here that on this image, I've provided just the like out of box font image extension. You could obviously do the font image source if you want to go more verbose, right? But I've used that same icon extension here to set the glyph on that, and it's automatically going to set the font family for me. So it just really simplifies it. You don't have to go figure out what the font family is, and it's just, here's my icon, right? And the beautiful part about this to me is you look at that and it's readable and it's understandable, and I can go and I can look at Font Awesome and I know exactly what icon I'm using. So I love it. I think a lot of people are going to like it. But it took all of 2 minutes, well, maybe a little longer than 2 minutes, but it wasn't very long before I actually did get a PR from Rob Gibbons. If you remember Rob Gibbons, he was part of the XAMU team. He's now part of Microsoft Learn. And he sent me PR to document using the mappings class. And I didn't really document it. And the way that the mappings classes work in the current preview, and this is going to change radically, by the way, but the way that they work right now is it's just a mapping to the actual glyph character, like that Unicode character. So you would use it that same way that you're probably used to doing it now. The benefit to you, of course, is that you can just say, hey, install this Nuget package, and you didn't have to do anything. And I did have like the font family on there as well. But that's still kind of like verbose and sucky, right? So, when I was talking to Rob about it, said, what I think what we need to do is just kind of make this basically return whatever this value is right here. And so that's actually what we're now doing is, if you do this font awesome regular.user, it's actually going to return var space fa-user, right? So you can use this and you have a nice strongly typed syntax. This is still very readable, right? Like you can look at this and you understand, hey, I'm using font awesome regular and it's the user icon. So you kind of get that best of both worlds mix, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so that is kind of what we're doing. Well, of course, this is Font Awesome free. I actually have Font Awesome Pro. I am one of those people that actually pay for the license so I can use Pro and have access to the full catalog, right? Obviously, well, I guess I could talk to the Font Awesome guys and see, how we could maybe open this up for people, but I'm going to want the full package internally, but I also want to make it easier for people both to generate their own icon like packages and for me to maintain both the free version that's open for everybody and then like the pro version that I'm using internally. Kind of makes sense, right? So one of the things that I did yesterday was I actually created this little tool. And it's this mapping class generator, right? And it looks pretty simple because it's really pulling in resources from, basically it's like linked resources that it's pulling in. Anyway, so that's kind of what I have going on. And so now I'm just trying to figure out how we can make this better, and not only make it better, but make this something that maybe we could have like a .NET tool, because I think it'd be really cool to say like, .NET tool install blah, right? And then just generate stuff because I'm lazy and I want to make it easy on me. And if I can do it where like some of these things are just not even really checked in, they're just generated at build, that'd be awesome. Like I said, I'm lazy. That's just kind of how I roll. Anyway, so I thought it'd be fun, since I was working on this anyway, to kind of show you guys how to make like an actual command line app, right? Like I know everybody has done a console application, right? But it's always ugly, right? And so this is kind of cool where you can actually use this McMaster extensions command line utils. It's something that I'm doing on the mobile test utils project. And so I thought I'd kind of play with it here as well. And so what you kind of see, let me just go ahead and run this. Obviously, I've just set up a hello world for right now. But let's go ahead and set this. Maybe. Of course, I may run into an issue here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Hello world, cool. So we can see that, you know, hey, this is working. It did actually execute our on execute. So there are probably going to be a couple of issues that I run into. The first issue that I'm going to probably run into is this is a Netcore 3.1 app. In order to get that other stuff working, I had to make it a Net 4.8 app, a full framework app. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was a system assembly I had to reference. What was it? Presentation core. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get the presentation core in here, because like that was what gave me the ability to actually read the TTF file. And I really hate the way that I'm doing this, by the way. If anybody on stream knows anything about working with typeface fonts and C#, you know, feel free to let me know. So what is this? Fabric. When you're working on Mac OS apps, are you debugging or developing using VS for Mac, or do you continue to use your Windows machine and use Mac only to run the app? It kind of depends on what I'm doing, to be honest. There's no good answer to this. So one thing you may notice, so like if I kind of bring my mouse down here, you notice that this bar is a Mac. Like, even though I'm, well, and we're looking in Safari right now. So even though like this is Visual Studio on Windows, like I have, basically I have a boot camp partition with Windows 10, and then I run Parallels, correct? So that way I can kind of switch back and forth. I obviously do have Visual Studio for Mac installed on here too. So my general day consists of use Visual Studio until it aggravates me and I've been swearing too much at it, and then I switch over to Visual Studio Mac, and then I start swearing at Visual Studio Mac about what a piece of crap it is, and so then I switch back to Visual Studio and then swear what a piece of crap it is, and then I switch back. And yeah, there's kind of like this recursive infinite loop going on there. So that's pretty much how that works. And John, no, you are not the only one. On the bright side, I am not Brian, and I did not have to reformat my computer because I updated Visual Studio. That happened to him, and that was pretty funny. So yeah. In fact, well, in a way I'm kind of worse, right? Like I have I have my PC, my Dell PC over here, and I do need to zoom in. Yes, thank you. Sorry. I like need to reformat the whole thing. And so I started this process yesterday. Still haven't managed to do that, by the way, which really sucks. Yeah. So apparently, like this is like the stupidity of my Dell. So when you restart, you have to hit F12, and then you get into like the whole system menu, and you can do like the recovery mode and all that, where you're supposed to be able to like reinstall the operating system, like factory new kind of setting. And when it does that, and you go into that, I have it connected to my Thunderbolt Dell dock, which has Ethernet plugged directly into it, right? It does not discover that dock in that mode. So it can only see that it has Wi-Fi available to it, and it can see the Wi-Fi network, but it will not connect to my Wi-Fi network. It will connect to my phone if I tether it to my phone, and it will attempt to do the download that it needs to do, but then it tells me it doesn't have enough memory, and so I'm kind of like in this limbo. So I have to connect to Wi-Fi, but it won't connect to my home Wi-Fi. And when it connects to my mobile hotspot, then it tells me it doesn't have enough memory to download. You know, it's one of those things where I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I bought this like 4-year warranty on it, and I got accidental damage coverage, and I'm just thinking maybe I should accidentally, drop it into a hammer repeatedly. Accidentally. Definitely an accident, right? Anyway. Not frustrating at all. All right, so let's take a look at this here. So we have, let me see if I can pull that out of that mode. I'm going to try and do like a side by side. And so let's bring that like that. Okay. So what we want to do, I keep forgetting. I don't have, there's like a plugin, make hammer, yeah. There's the Octotree plugin that I have in Chrome. I don't have it in Safari, but it makes it so much easier to navigate around GitHub. All right, so I'm just going to copy this nonsense for a minute. All right, so go ahead and copy that. I think I have Firefox installed. I just never, ever use it at all. So let's go ahead and see here. Like, this whole thing is really terrible code. This was like all basically prototype code to make it work. Which, by the way, prototype code, if you're not aware of this, prototype code means one thing. It means that is how it's going to be forever, because you're never going to actually change it. Let's just tell the truth. Anyway. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't have the CSS parser in here. Crap. And I'm going to need that. Oops. Do I copy and paste? I'm kind of thinking I might copy and paste. So, like, here was one of the fun things. When I built this out, I was going to do something where I was just going to, like, use Xamarin.Forms' ability to read CSS. It sucks, by the way. Don't use it. It was pointless, and I very quickly realized that it's just never going to work. All right. So this is interesting. Oxyplot PDF. Is Oxyplot PDF? Okay. Let's go to, whoops, not MBA. That's weird. I don't even know why MBA came up in the search results. I never go to the MBA's website. I'm, like, not even joking. I really, truly don't. Oxyplot, yes. Oxyplot PDF. So this is full framework. Well, that sucks. There's got to be a way. See, net core, glyph, typeface. Really? I really hate that. Like, I want to see it for .NET Core. All right, what if, can we use, is there a way to install maybe Presentation Core? Let's see. Nope. So I think the only way I'm going to be able to do this is if I just make it, which means it can't actually be a CLI tool. I need a way of reading these font files. It's going to be very, very challenging. So this is like one of those other things. It's a very subtle thing, but it really irritates me on Mac. I don't know if it irritates anybody else, but have you ever noticed, like, you double click on a window in Mac and it's like, okay, I'll resize. All right, I went like 10% of the way there. I'm like, no, I want you to go to the full bounds of the screen, dude. Like, what's going on with you? It aggravates me. Reference source. There's a little bit of me that is tempted to see, is there any way that we could just like copy reference source and make this a .NET Core thing? I feel that would be a rabbit hole, and I'd be here all day doing this. There's got to be another way. Let me see, manipulating images. No, I don't want to. I just want to. Okay, .NET Core. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how can we, so .NET Core parse font file. Oh, it's DuckDuckGo, that's why. Let's try this. Try try this. I closed it, dang it. Building fonts for .NET Core apps running on Linux. It seems like one of the most useless things ever. But maybe it's because I'm only quickly scanning it. No, I want to read the darn thing. I want to see what's in it. Okay. Google. Okay, let's try the search on a real search engine here. So .NET Core get glyphs from font file. So this is saying, okay, so 3.1, actually .NET 5, that might be a good idea. .NET 5 could potentially be our friend. Could also really screw us over. I'm not sure which. Could be both. Let's see here. This is saying it's in .NET 3 or .NET Core 3.1. So maybe I just have to go in here. I'll see it there. So I honestly, I don't know for the life of me. I think I have .NET Core. Here, let's come in here. So let's make a directory, call it tests. Okay. So .NET, what's our version on here? List SDKs. I thought I had, oh crap. So I may do something that might screw me over later. It's probably going to hurt me later, but that's okay. Let's come up here. Okay. So we'll go to another fake browser here. And we want to download. We want the preview. Okay, we're going to go ahead and run it. Let's see. On one of these screens, I don't know which one, it's going to pop up. What are we doing here? Hold on, let's try this. Ah, there it is. Okay. So obviously there's another window somewhere. Oh, there we go. I'm having really terrible luck all of a sudden with this thing, like putting windows behind windows instead of in front of windows. All right, go ahead and close that. Cool. So now if I say .NET version, perfect. Okay. So I want to say .NET new console. Good morning, Mortalbox, or afternoon, or wherever it is you are, whatever time of day, I don't know. Okay. So I want a cat test. Oh. So apparently it's just .NET 5, but I probably do need to restart. And I probably need to come into the preview though. Let's open up the preview version. .6 in France. Well, if it's 6 p.m., that's definitely time to have some wine or beer or bourbon or whatever your booze of choice happens to be. I don't know about anyone else, but I know my amount of drinking has certainly gone up in all of this stay-at-home stuff. It's 5. Well, it was 5 o'clock an hour ago for Mortalbox, so there you go. Depeche, how you doing, buddy? Well, you know, you got good beers in Belgium, so it's always 5 o'clock in Belgium. Come on. Let's just tell the truth here. Day drinking is officially allowed under quarantine. Although I hear they finally opened the beaches back up. I think they got tired of arresting too many people. I still don't know if they've opened up the bay, though. As far as I know, it's still illegal for me to take my boat out. 42-foot boat. By myself. In the middle of the ocean. And I'll be arrested for not socially distancing. That makes no sense to me. Yeah. Anyway. John, they're set to be closed back down, rumor has it. Yeah. Yeah, Harrison, Belgium does have some very good beers. They are the second best location to get beer. San Diego is the first. And I know Mr. John Batchelor will attest to that as well. We have some incredible beers here. Well, apparently I have a dog that was dropped off. Come here, bud. All right. Let's see. Pesci, go have some dinner. Hopefully it is a good dinner, my friend. So this is like really strange. I don't know. I'm going to try something crazy here. Because this says, you know, it's in .NET 5. It should be in .NET 3.1 and 4. Or, sorry, 3.0 and 3.1, and then .NET 5. There is no .NET 4 is, never mind. That whole thing got confusing. I wonder if they actually thought about that when they started the whole .NET Core thing. Anyway. You know, they obviously didn't have a problem. There's actually like, you know, they got very nervous about 4, but you notice like you already had this conflict 3.0, 3.0. Anyway, so let's see here. What I want to do, I think, is I take this. I want to just basically copy that reference. I want to see if that reference will just work. Maybe. Or does it like completely freak out? No, it's pretty upset about that. So Presentation Core is not available on Nuget, right? What if I... And it was in system... Like, this whole thing makes no sense. Yeah. Like... I must be going crazy here. You know, no, this is not helpful at all. Hold on, we're going to submit some negative feedback. This claims it is possible to use the glyph typeface with .NET Core 3.0, 3.1, and .NET 5 Preview 1 Plus, right? However, it is not available to us in a console app using any of those targets. Actually, hold on, there's probably, I think this might have already started a video thing that I can like send a link for, right? Yes, copy link address. Okay. Not vid vod. Stop incorrecting me, or auto incorrecting. Yeah. Please. Okay. Submit. So we have a .NET 5 app. We can't seem to use Presentation Core in any shape, way, or form. This kind of sucks. Do I have to use WP? But I don't want WPF. Like, that's the whole point, is we don't, like, because we want this to be a CLI tool. But let's just try that. True. And let me see something else here, because I might need to change something. Where was it? Nope. That actually looks like it's the same. So what I was looking at is this SDK here. I was kind of curious if they changed that, but it looks the same. Well, I guess maybe it just is included for free or something. So I have used WPF. You probably have, like, I think I'm probably on the wrong SDK, because I think it's like the Windows desktop is where you can actually say use WPF. I don't think it matters for core. I can't believe it. There's not a way. There's got to be a way in .NET Core to be able to read a font. Let's take a look at this. What's this layout farm? So pure C# font reading, glyph layout, and rendering. Figured out the way to render a glyph from a font may be useful for other libraries. Potentially. Okay, this is okay. A font reader. Okay, so let's actually try this open font one. How do I get it? Like, is it on Nuget? Typography, open font, .NET Core. It looks like it is. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Extremely unstable and likely to fail. I'm gonna cry. That's hilarious. Hold on, let me see. What's the license on this, by the way? License. The license for the whole project is MIT. Okay. All right. I'm just kind of curious what his... All right. I'm kind of curious, like, because I don't see where the .NET Core is coming from, right? Like, this doesn't say anything about .NET Core here. I think what I'm going to do... All right. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, first of all, we'll initialize a Git repo. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to initialize Okay, so let me bring this over. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a submodule here. Typography. Okay, and then I'm going to say external. This is just kind of the pattern I like to follow here. So we're going to say external and then typography in case we want to bring something else in. Okay, you notice that I checked the license. So yeah, I always check the license. There are certain licenses I tend to stay away from. Like I don't really like BSD at all. I know some people do. I'll use it if it has Apache, and I'll use it if it has MIT. Basically anything else, like even though it's open, like beerware, I'll tend to use. You don't really see that one, but that's a good one. Like you should just buy this maintainer a beer. But yeah, no, I typically only use something if it's got an MIT or Apache license to it, just because they're pretty permissive. Anything else I tend to shy away from, or I just, I look at it as it's a paid product. Yeah. Yeah. The BSD with the patent clause. I understand what you're talking about, Fabric. You should respect licenses. People do put in a lot of work on things, and people deserve to get paid. All right, so we're going to say add typography module. Okay. And then we're going to come over here. I'm going to add an existing project. Come in here. So this was a shared project. So we're just going to go ahead and reference that. Cool. Now I'll have to change some stuff, but that's okay. I'm okay with changing some stuff. Now I just got to figure out how in the hell to use this. Is there a wiki? Like wiki is enabled, but there's nothing there, is there? Oh no, there is. Cool. Open type, no. All right. So there's nothing useful in the wiki that I'm seeing. So let's see. While developing pixel, okay. Yeah, don't care about that. Contains a font reader. So, whoops, this font reader. Okay, open font reader. Hey, imagine that. Okay, so let's come back over here. We're gonna say reader null. Okay. Open font reader. Nope, I'm gonna have to actually new this up, so it's not a factory kind of thing. Reader. I'm going to say null for right now. So this was a typeface. I just want to explore the API a little bit, right? So before we really start writing code. Sounds like the dog is very upset right now. Get glyph. Glyph count. So what are, like, let's just take a look at the properties on here, right? So we have an ascender, I have no idea what the heck that is, a base table, CMap table, control values, file name, glyphs. Okay. So let's pretend we have something. So we now have a glyph, and what does that show us? So they're basically, like, there are two things that we kind of want to get from a font, right? We want to get what the like what the glyph name is. Well, really, we just want to get what the glyph name is what it boils down to. Getting the actual glyph value is not a bad thing, because if we have a web font, like, we're going to want to implement this in two different ways, basically. So you have a web font like Font Awesome. A web font like Font Awesome, we're actually going to evaluate the glyph value, like that Unicode character, and then we're going to compare that to what's in the CSS file, so that way we can kind of dynamically build something out. I still need to bring in the CSS parser. Which, actually, that reminds me, since we've initialized this now, right, so, and we've already added one submodule, let's add another one. Let's go submodule crazy. Fonts. And we're going to copy that. External AP.Mobile.Toolkit .fonts. Okay. Adding AP.Mobile.Toolkit .fonts. And now we'll kind of come back over here, just because I'm getting tired of seeing that all broken. And we are going to add a folder. I'm going to say style sheets. We're going to add some existing items in here. So we're going to select all of that, and then we're going to say add as link. And then I'm going to come over here. It just basically, it added, I could have just added one, honestly. Wouldn't have mattered. And then we're going to say file name and extension. I mean, even though I could just leave the CS, wouldn't really matter. But yeah. You know, it's that whole less is more thing. Anyway. Reload. Okay. So now we have that. Go ahead and add that. So what I think I need to do let's open this up real quick. Go. Where's the folder? Okay. So I'm going to pull one of these fonts over. Sure, we'll go with Font Awesome Regular. Why not? Copy. And then paste that. Okay. So now it should show up over here. And we're going to say copy always. Why not? I'm going to comment all this out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, so we're going to say using var stream equals new file stream. Oops. Oops, if I put the new in there, right? So FA regular 400 TTF file mode is what we want. Not model. Open. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to pass that in. And then for each var glyph in typeface dot glyphs. Glyph dot I feel like that UInt is probably going to be glyph class. I don't know what that means. We're going to put a breakpoint in here anyway, but let's just see. We're going to say var Unicode and glyph dot bitmap format to string x. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. Oh, what was that attribute again? Build. I think it's just unsafe, but I just want to make sure I get the right one. Open font. Allow unsafe blocks. Okay. Just want to make sure I add the right one. Okay. Okay, so it rebuilt successfully. Okay. So that was just 0, huh? So let's see. I guess maybe let's look at the typeface itself. So what do we have? So the subfamily is regular. It's a CMAP table. I have no idea. Header. So 154 glyphs. Yeah, that looks correct. What's this OS table? Nope. The post table. Glyph names. Here we go. Oh, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Okay. Okay, so this is kind of what I need right here, because this gives me this is going to give me the what do you call it, like the property name. So where was this? So I got to go into the post table. So we're going to say for each var var key var name in typeface dot post table glyph names. Right? And technically, really what I could do, because I don't care about that first one. All I care about is the name. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say let's say var glyphs goes new list of string, and then we're going to say name equals regex, or actually no, we don't even need to do that. We're just going to say named is replace, and we're going to replace a dash with an underscore because Humanizer understands it better. Now we're going to say Pascalize. Oh, okay. I guess we can't do that. So glyph name, and then, or actually, we don't even really need to assign it to anything, right? Say glyphs dot add. Header to the length. No. John, enjoy your meeting. I know that everybody loves to be in meetings. Like, I'm always like, yo, can we just schedule another meeting? Because I haven't had enough meetings today, and I need more. No, I don't ever say that. I usually say, why the hell are we having meetings? Actually, my favorite one, I used to have this hung up in my office, was I had a thing that said, you know, Rome didn't create a great empire by having meetings. They did it by going out and killing their enemies. Anyway, I might be a sick, twisted individual. Probably am. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to run this again. And okay, so we have added one. Okay, fine. Capacities for, that's cool. Why is it? Oh, duh. All right. I need to get rid of the dot. Hold on. And we're going to do another replace. So string dot empty. Actually, it's gonna get really mad at me because I'm mixing string and char. Okay. So let's go ahead and try that again. Oh, whoops. Haha. Let's just do this for each glyphs console.writeLine. Cool. So now we have basically our property names right there, right? Not marking return or non-marking return. Let's go to Font Awesome real quick. Let's see that. I guess I could just, I mean, it's not that far down the list. Here. Could have sworn I just hit build. So we have not def, no, non-marking return. Okay then. So yeah, so let's go ahead and do that then, and then that's right. So the other thing I want to do is I want to see if I can automate the reading of the font name. So you get the file name, don't care about that. Regular. So basically I'm looking for something that is going to say Font Awesome Regular. think I already looked at that. Gasp table. Let's see, max profile. No. Ah, here we go. So you got the name Font Awesome 5 free regular. So I might use that. So as a post table, we were already kind of looking at that. All right. Is there anything else in here that I can? It's like, I know when I was looking at this before, like with what was built in for like the full .NET framework, like if I was doing a desktop app, I know there was other information. I don't know. But this is not able to read it. All right, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is like really about drawing, and I don't care about the drawing aspect of it. Let's see. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to define this where we have an ability. So we're, of course, we're going to need another Nuget package here. Probably a Nuget package you've never used in your life called newtonsoft.json. Because what .NET developer uses this package, right? I mean, it's only got 465 million downloads, for crying out loud. All right, so we got that. Let me think here. So what we want, we have this bundled font. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for a JSON file, I think. So I'm going to say, here. Let me think here. So we're going to say new URI resources is absolute URI. Then we're going to say that we want to use the resources. Otherwise, I'm going to do a path combine directory dot current working directory resources. And then we want to say bundled fonts, and then we're going to look for directory dot get files in the full path. We're going to look for files called bundledfont.json. We're going to search all directories. Then we're going to iterate over that. Bundled font. Or actually, I'm going to say bundled font JSON in bundled fonts. And so bundled font equals JSON. What is it? Hold on. Microsoft JSON convert. Thank you. You'd think I've never used this library in my life or something. Bundled font. And we're going to say file, read all text. All right. So now we have our font, right? Or we have our definition of the font. And then we're going to want to... Oh, there was one other thing I forgot to do. Sorry. Let me comment this out for a minute so we don't blow ourselves up. So the other thing I need to do... So I need the name. Okay. So after I have the glyphs, then I need... Well, actually, I need to change that too, but... So basically, let's think about this. So I need the font name, and then I need the property name and mapping value. And then I want to see if I can get the version. Like if I get the version, that would be great. Oh, the other thing, let me see something. Using typography, web font. Oh. What do we actually have in here? Web font. No. Open font. I have no idea what this actually is or does or anything. So let's just see. Typeface. Nope. I have no idea. Alright. But I want to get the version. So let's see if we can get the version. because that would be great. Basically, what I want to do is, so if you look at the fonts that we have here, right now I'm auto-generating these mappings, which is cool, right? So you come in here, you look at this, and you know, I get all this. And actually, if we look at, let's go to solid. So there's one that's going to look a little different. Where is it? There are a lot of icons in this. Here it is. So I did realize, because like Font Awesome actually has an equals icon. You can't really do that in a class, so I did kind of put a hack in to handle that. So we're gonna need to do that kind of stuff too. But so right now this is what we're generating. What I want to do is, if we come in here, basically I want to drop a JSON file in here with the actual font and the CSS, and then everything else should be like automatically generated. So what I want to do is I want to basically generate this for you, so you shouldn't have to do anything else. At least that's the idea. So typeface. All right, let's see if we can find a version. I don't remember seeing a version on here. Version 2, yeah. That's not the version either. Oop. That was interesting. You know, we could change things up here. So yeah, so we might do this for a little bit. Let's see here. What can we get working? Hello, computer. Do we have a working version? No. Like this version, like it's just giving me a uint, and I don't want a uint. Like what I want to see on this is a 5.13. Major version 1. Nope. CMap table. No. All right. So if there is a way to get it, I don't know what it is right now, so we won't be able to do that right now, but that's okay. We're gonna get there. All right. So I'm gonna do this dictionary. I'm gonna redo this dictionary. We're gonna have a string. Okay. Grab that. We're gonna say this is the property name, and and then we're going to say var lookup value equals, and then, all right, so what we need is, let me think about this for a second. This actually needs to be inside that for each up here. So let's go ahead and move that. Okay, so now we have our bundled font dot alias, and then where's a bundled font dot prefix. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me think about this. So var prefix equals, say string, oops, string dot is null or empty, bundled font dot prefix, right? Okay. And then we'll just say string dot, not stack allocate. What the heck, dude? Come on. Like, IntelliSense has gotten really dumb lately. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but it's gotten really dumb, and it's very frustrating. All right, so bundled font dot prefix, and then we're going to do a dash, right? Okay, so let's come over here. We'll say prefix. Yeah. And okay, so now we have our property name and our lookup value. Go ahead and do that. And cool. So let's take a look. So I have to go through all that. Oh. Yes. So here was like one of the other things I was doing. Well, no, located style right here. This is what I need. Okay. I guess I'll copy the comment too. Alright. So we'll go ahead and uncomment that. Whoops. Apparently I need another. Right. Okay. So let's go ahead. So I have this. There's a property name. So basically what this is going to do here is this is going to say if we have a numeric value to start, because like you can't have a property name in C# that starts with a number. Like you can have a number, but you can't, like if I come over here, so I could say public whatever, okay? I could do this, right? Like that would be a valid, like that would be valid. Because I have an underscore. An underscore is a valid starting character, and numbers are valid characters in a property. I can come over here and I can, but like basically what I can't do is I can't just say 500, right? Like it will tell me like, hey, this is invalid. You cannot start with this. So what we want to do, and this is kind of a little bit of a hack. Okay, it's definitely a hack, but what we're kind of protecting for is in Font Awesome brands there is a 500 pixel, or like 500 px, right, is the icon. And so what we want to do is we want to change that to be 500 px, right? So that is basically what we want to get. So let's come back over here. So we did this whole numeric thing. Oh, I apparently did not copy enough of it. I need that part too. Okay. And boom. Okay. So basically what we do is we say, hey, if this first character is a numeric value, right, if it's a digit, then we're going to kind of cycle through, we're going to get the digits out of this thing. And then once we have that, we're going to parse it into an integer, right? So we have now our integer. And then Humanizer has this really cool thing where you can say 2 words off of an integer, right? And it's actually going to say, like, it'll change the number 500 into the word 500, which is pretty cool. And then we're going to humanize the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So now we have that. And, okay. Bundled fonts, glyphs. Okay. Okay, so now what we need is, let's say generate file, private static void generate mappings file. And then, so what are we going to need? We're going to need a string class name. We're going to need a string. Oh, no, I'm sorry, hold on. We're going to need a dictionary, properties, and then we're going to need a string file path. Okay. Pretty sure. Right. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say class name. We're going to say string.isNull or empty bundled font. That is not the correct context here. Come on now, IntelliSense. Lack thereof IntelliSense. Oh, I'm not in there, which might have something to do with it. Okay. Font. Okay, and then what we want is the name. So if that's null, then what we want to do is we're going to take the typeface dot name. We're going to replace a space with basically nothing, right? Cool. And that should be what we need. Oh, yeah, duh. Okay. And then otherwise we're going to just use the bundled font name. Okay. So that's our class name. Now, for our file path. Our file path is going to be path combine. Let me think about this for a minute. So if I say, do I want to put it in a central folder, or do I just in link? I think what I'm going to do is, because we're actually, I think what we're going to do is we're going to say root directory path, right? So let's kind of think of that as where we want to go. So root directory path. So we're going to say new file info, bundled font JSON, and then we're going to say directory name. Okay. And now, what do we want to do here? What we want to do, I guess we didn't actually need the style sheets so far. That's okay. We're going to see how this works. All right, so we have, for root path, we have a properties. Okay, so now we're going to generate mappings file. We have our class name. We have our glyphs. And then we have our root directory path. Okay, so now we can actually generate it, right? So here's what we want to do, I think. All right, so right now I'm, oh, hold on. I probably want to generate that root directory path further up. So what I want to do, let's do this. Excuse me. Think about this. Oh, actually, I'm going to change this too, because what I think I want to do is I want to say the full path is going to just be directory dot get current directory, and I'm going to say if not string is null or empty resources, right? Then what we'll do is we'll update that in here. Okay. All right. So let me think about this. So we have this. Okay. So this basically, like the idea is you put this bundled font.json in the project directory. We're going to read that. All right. So we have. Oh, okay. So here's where we want to change this. So we want to say that var, we're going to say font name equals bundled font dot font file, or actually here, say font file. Okay, so now we're going to say if font, or sorry, yeah, if string.is null or empty, right? Or what? Null or empty. Font file. Then what we want to do is we want to say font file equals directory dot get files first or default. Dot new file info and then we're going to say return. Oh, well, let me declare it up here so I'm not constantly allocating new memory. Font files. So we're going to say new TTF OTF. Now I could do like a check for each one individually, but I like where you're going to do like a .any better because this makes it a little bit more maintainable if there were other font files we wanted to support down the road. So we're just going to say font extension, or hold on, let's make this clear. Supported font types. There we go. So now we're going to say supported font types. Any okay. Okay. Perfect. Suppose I could make that a little simpler. Oh, duh. Root directory path. So we're going to do that. All right. Now we could have a secondary. Actually, there would not be. All right. Let's do a secondary check. So we're going to say if string is null or empty, font file. So this is like a secondary check, right? So then we'll just say console write line could not locate a font file in root directory path. Or break. Do we want to break? No, we want to continue. So basically what we want to do is we want to, like, obviously if we've gotten into this if statement, there is no font file for us to process, right? So we don't want to continue processing this, but there might be other fonts that we want to generate. So we're gonna kind of locate that. All right. Great. So let me go ahead now and say path.combine root directory path and font file. Okay, so now we've got that. Let's steal some more code for myself. No, not the sample. Wrong directory. I want to go in here. So basically what we're going to do, copy that. Mappings. Okay. We're going to say class name. Cool. So now we should, all right. So basically what we did here is we took these mappings. So this is the property, and then this is like whatever the value is going to be, right? And we created, like we converted that to like public constant or public new constant if it's equals. But we're converting that into a bunch of constants. Then we're creating this mappings file. All right, so we're gonna say our output mappings file path is going to be path.combine actually hold on, we're going to say new file info, and then we're going to do path combine in here. There's a root, and then I want to put this in a mappings folder. And then we're going to say the class name .cs. And then I probably should change that. So we're just going to make sure that the folder itself is created. Info. Okay. Oh, actually, hold on. So here, let's say if output directory exists, then let's go ahead and delete. And we want to set recursive to true. Now, this is like just one of those things. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but I tend to prefer this. So like delete has an optional parameter, right? Like you can pass it a Boolean whether or not to recurse, right? And I personally think it is more readable if you specify the property name or the parameter name, so that way like you can see like, hey, we want to recurse this. Like if you just look like delete true, like of course I want to delete, that's why I call the method. But I think if you actually use the property name or the parameter name here, sorry, yeah, if you use the parameter name, I don't know why I keep saying property. If you use the parameter name, I think this makes readability just a little bit easier. I have always been a huge fan of code that kind of self-documents when possible. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create the directory now. And all right, now we want to say file.write all text. Good grief. All right, we'll get there eventually. Full name. Okay, and then we want to write the file. Okay. So that is number one. The second thing we want to do, so right now, I kind of have this mappings thing right here. So I want to auto-generate that as well. So mappings, XML&S. Okay. And, whoops. Set that. Set that. And there. Okay. And then, perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say file, file.write all text, do a path combine, output mappings file directory name, and then we're going to say mappings XML&S. I can talk today, really. .cs. All right, and then we're going to pass in this, basically the contents, right? Okay. Cool. Now, technically, I guess I could just add that as a header. Yeah, why not? One less file to write. It does seem kind of silly, doesn't it, to bring in the whole namespace for like this one attribute? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so I think that'll be good. All right. So I think that should write what we want. So let's go ahead and test this. All right. Let me see here. I know how to do this in VS Mac. I'm just not sure how to do this in Visual Studio. There is a way. What did it just set? Oh. So let's get rid of that. Let's clean this up a little bit as we go. All right. Now I gotta figure out how in the heck I'm gonna test this. This is one kind of nice thing actually in Visual Studio for Mac. Like I can very, very simply come in here And I can say, hey, when you build, I want you to kind of pass these arguments to it. I don't think there's quite a way to do that. Oh, there. And Siegel. Yeah, well, some of this I'll fix later, but okay. Oh, application arguments. Duh. I'm an idiot. Okay. To be passed to the application. So what we want to say is actually just, we want to pass it just a dash H. I might have to do a dash dash. We'll see. We'll see how smart this is. I have no idea. This could be potentially bad. Awesome. Okay. Well, that was helpful. So let me think about this. How many levels up do I have to go? So I have, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I have to go 5 levels. Let's go dot dot dash dot dot. Oops. Dash dot dot. AP.Mobile.Toolkit fonts. Source. Okay. And then this is going to get fun. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go perfect. This is the wrong one. Oh, actually that might be kind of a good one to do. Hold on. Font awesome. So let me think here. This is, alright, I need to go to Font Awesome real quick, because I downloaded the free version earlier, but I need to get the pro version real quick. Pro. Alright, so I have the pro version. Alright, come in here. Okay. So I know it's not the largest in here, but we'll survive. let's open up. Okay. So now we have the Pro. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this Font Awesome min file. That's going to give me what I need there. See if I can drag this over here and have it actually keep showing up over here. Paste. Paste. Cool. And then where was the other? All right. So we have that. Now I need. Here we go. Drag that over there. We're going to replace that. I need to do a duotone too. Oh, that's right, and light. So, duotone. And, oops. It's trash. I don't want to copy the bin. That's just stupid. Duplicate. And light. Okay. Whatever. We'll fix that later. Let me think about this for a second here. You know, actually, this would be a good opportunity for me to fix something. All right, we'll deal with it in a second because I'm getting sidetracked. All right, so we have duotone, light, regular, and then solid. Okay. So now I have those files, or the assets that I need there. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to leave one of them intact. So we're going to generate a lot of things because we want to basically make this as easy to use as possible. All right, so we've got the one still in duotone. So let's go take a look at that. I'll try to make this a little bigger for everybody, but so what we want is we want this right here. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Okay. So we're going to come back over here, because what we want to do, we're not totally done yet. What we want to do is we want to check to see if not file.exists, and then I'm going to say path.combine root, and then class name .cs, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say the font file definition. Okay. All right. So we've got that. And what do we have? Okay. Cool. So now let's change that. Oh, of course. That kind of screwed me, didn't it? Damn it. All right. So I want to say okay. All right. So class name, class name, class name. Now I'm going to hard code this to unknown because we don't know at the moment, so that'll have to be something you kind of fix afterward. Hopefully, like, that'll just be a to-do item, right? Okay. So we need to get the font file name. So let's do that. Let's get the font file name. So we'll say string font file. All right. And then we'll pass that into here. And then we have this prefix here. So this is actually the alias. Okay, so let's say string.alias. I know it gets a little confusing because there's some interchanged terminology here. So let's say bundled font dot alias. Okay, so now we're generating that. Oh, there was one other thing I need to do. There's a change I made on here. Let me come into here. We'll take a look at what the change I did for Font Awesome Free. So we're going to take this right here. So I did something a little crazy. Well, actually, I do a lot of things that are crazy. But what I did was, if you notice right here on the mappings file, I actually give the assembly the linker safe attribute. And the reason that I do that is, you could have a lot of icons that you're not using. So why keep the mapping around if you don't have to, right? Unfortunately, I can't put that on the class level. I have to do it on the assembly level. And the assembly for the actual font is only ever meant to have two things. It's meant to have the mappings file, and then it's meant to have like the actual font file, right here, like the font definition. And so with the font definition, we want to preserve the mappings. We're totally cool with the linker stripping stuff out. If you're not using it, if you're using it, it should leave it alone. Anyway, let's go ahead. Do I have any water left? I used all my water. Oh, I have a tiny bit over here. All right. So we have that. So I think that would be good. Okay. So now we just have to actually write the file, right? So let's say file.write all line, or all text actually. And then we're gonna pull that path back. Okay, so we want that, and then what do we call this? Font file definition. Okay, cool. So now it should auto-generate everything that we want, theoretically. Yeah. Okay. So now we just need to go and we need to create some JSON here. So what we're going to want to do is I'm going to try to make it so I can actually see what we have going on here. Font awesome. So bundled font, JSON, and then so name is going to be font awesome brands. The prefix is FA. Now this prefix here I can probably get rid of, to be honest, because I'm not using it anymore. Well, actually no, we are using it. Never mind. Alias was fab. The font file is FA brands 400 TTF. You know, I'm gonna let that auto discover. And the CSS file, well, I'll let it auto discover that if we decide to use. So I'm just gonna try to keep it simple. And we're just gonna use these three properties here. And it was bundled font, right? I think that was what I was looking for. Yep, bundled font. So let's take a look here. Let's try to run this. Let's see if it blows up on us. Damn it. So we're going to say starts with okay, so let's try that. So we'll guard against relative path. Like that's an explicitly relative path. Oh, actually I need an and, not an or. Duh. Okay. So we found it. We have our path. Perfect. So let's go ahead and step through this now. So our directory name. Perfect. So this is kind of our root, right? And then okay. So our bundled font. Let's see here. There we go. Good, that's what we expect. Our font file is null. So now we're going to step in here. And our font file, oh, it's still null. Why is it still null? It shouldn't have been null. Let's go ahead and try this again. This is why we're debugging, right? Just to figure out. Oh, come on. .ds store, please. CS proj. .json. .css. .ttf. So that should match. Why doesn't that? That doesn't even make sense. Files. So I'm gonna check this here for a second. There's nothing there, huh? So obviously I did something dumb here. So let me think. What did I do dumb? I probably did a lot dumb, but that's not the point. So here's a file path, right? Path, say get extension X. equals TTF. Let's just do that for right now. And I realized that I could filter it up here with if all I care about is TTF, but I want to test just that that is working first. Why is that not working? So 5 files. Alright. Well, fine. Because I don't want to screw around with this, and I can always add support for other fonts later. So I'm just going to say TTF. You got to give me a TTF, otherwise get bent. Alright. So then we're going to say font file equals files.first or default. Okay. We'll rerun this here. There we go. Oh. So that gave me a complete path, so I definitely do not want to combine that because that would be bad. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to say else font file equals path.combine directory dot, or no, sorry, root directory path font file. And then we're just going to say, we're just going to use the font file by itself over here. Okay. So now, let's move our breakpoint down here. So we did not totally blow up. It still didn't blow up, so that's a good sign. Do we have our name? We were able to read it. Did I give it regular? Should have been brands. Oh, brands regular, duh. Okay. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of stuff there. 445 glyphs found. Cool. All right. My class name is going to be Font Awesome Brand. So here's my output file. Uh-oh. That's no bueno. That's definitely not correct. So where did we screw up? I mean, I screwed something up. I had to have. Oh. I'm an idiot. Hold on. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so now we're going to generate the file, and what do we have? That looks technically better, but this is still not going to be Let me check the, I'm kind of curious. Oh. Hold on. I do not want to look at a minimized font file because that would just be horrendous. So let's take a look at this. Okay. So, is there a not def? Nope. So we definitely want to, and there's probably not a null, I would guess, either. Nope. But there should be a CSS3. Yep, there is a CSS3. Okay. So we're getting closer to generating a valid output. So let's just check this out here. So let me think. Oh, well, we need to kind of look in here. Sanitized name. We're going to say name.replace a period with string.empty. We could, you know, get rid of it right here by using the sanitized name. Mr. Brian Lagunas. Did I lose my audio again? Let's see here. Where is OBS? I have lost OBS completely. Hold on. Dude, where do we lose? Oh my god. Ha ha ha. Oh man. Thank you for the follows, guys. Let me see here. OBS just froze on me here. Let me see. I have no idea what is going on. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I know I've been having issues with this Mac. Welcome. There. Hopefully, Brian, I don't know if you can hear me or not. But welcome to the channel, guys. I am trying to get OBS to actually respond to me here. Oh, it looks like... Wow, this is kind of a miracle. I've been having issues with OBS lately. A lot of issues, actually. Oh, good. but yeah, like for whatever reason, the last few streams we've been having an issue where like every time I get a notification from like any of my stream element stuff, like it just kills all of the audio in OBS. So that's good to hear that we didn't actually lose audio this time. Welcome to the channel there, Raiders. Brian, I don't know what you were working on, but you know, you'll have to tell us. So we are kind of working on this font generator for Xamarin.Forms. Basically, the idea is to try to make it really stupid simple to add like any kind of icon font to your project. So earlier this week, I released the AvantiPoint MobileToolkit kind of fonts plugin. And we have Font Awesome free that's actually available right now on Nuget. You can go, you just install either Font Awesome brands or regular or solid. Those are like the three that are available on the free tier. So you can just install a Nuget, and now you have access to it in your Xamarin.Forms application. It's really, really stupidly simple to both install, to use. Like you don't have to go mess around with your info plist or anything like that. Like you just install it, you're done, right? Beautiful thing. So naturally, I have a Font Awesome Pro license, and I want to be able to use the Pro version for kind of my personal projects, and then kind of make it easier to implement other ones. So what we're doing is we're writing a generator that will actually handle the mappings, because if you look, let's go over here. So there's a mappings class, and let me see, where is it? Oh yeah, that's right, I moved it. Haha. So there's this mappings class that actually has like a static class with property names, so you can still do strong names. Like if you really want the strong naming, you can do strong name, you can go x static, whatever, rather than having to do a magic string in XAML. So it is nice that you get like this nice compile time check, that you're able to, and you still keep it readable, but obviously it's not maintainable if I have to go out and regenerate this file every single time you want to update the font. Like if that was the case, I would basically do this one time and then I would never update it. I'd say, to hell with you. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to make it really, really easy for people to be able to use and to be able to maintain this. So we're just kind of writing a generator that is looking at the font, and then what I'm realizing is we have some characters in the font that we have kind of looked at and evaluated, but they're not actual icons. It's things like the carriage return and the null character. That is an actual character, right? So we want to make sure that anything that we use, like for these web fonts, we're only including stuff that is normally mapped. So we're going to use the CSS style sheet here to just kind of validate that we didn't do anything crazy here. So let's go ahead. Let me see here. So I'm going to say, so we have our CSS parser, and then we're going to go new style sheets. Well, here, let me just say CSS parser. Oh, cool. I already have the namespace. Beautiful. What do I need to do here? Okay. So there's my parser. What I need to do here. So there's the typeface. We find the CSS file path. And then we're going to say directory.get files, root file path, star.css, right? And then we're going to just grab the first one. And we'll have to have some sort of like better handling for that later, but for now that'll do. So we'll say file.read all text. Okay. So we have our CSS parser. Oh, let me see. CSS. We want these styles. CSS parser styles. There we go. Okay. So now when we go through here, we're going to say if styles dot any, so x dot selector text, say ends with the sanitized name. We'll throw a not out in front here. Do a console write line. Say no selector found with the name, sanitized name. Or, well, I'll just use the raw name. Okay. And then we'll do a continue. Okay. Cool. So this should hopefully, so if I rerun this, we should come in, we should drop into here. Well, hoping. All right. So our sanitized name. Okay. And perfect. So we went into there. Cool. So we're kind of expecting, yep, null. Actually, it would kind of seem like, let me see something. So I was kind of guarding against like this dot thing. But if I look at the typeface, and then where was it? Got the post table, glyph names. Yeah, so it would seem like if it starts with a dot, it definitely would be something we don't want to evaluate. But that's okay. What is it now? Good God, how many of these are there that... Well, Twitter Square we know should actually... Alright. So let's look at our styles. What do we have? Oh, crap. That's right. I totally forgot about that. Because I have a stupid before crap. Selector. So what we need to do is we need to split on a colon, and we're going to take the first element. Oh, hold on. There's a couple things I'm going to do here. So let me change this. We're just going to say name. If name dot 0. Okay. Then continue. Basically, if the first character is a dot, we're going to just continue. All right. Man, where did I screw up? Oh, name. Okay. You know, the red on red, not very helpful. Not at all. All right. So we have our property name, non-marking return. I don't think that's actually going to be in there. Correct. Now Twitter Square should be in there. And it is. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to get rid of that because I don't want to go through that 400 times. Okay. So now, oh, I really should change that to brands. Perfect. So that's exactly what I expect to see right here. Right? Yep. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to write that file. And so let's come back over. Where did it go? So if we look at that, now we have our generated file. I don't know why it's so upset. That's okay. We're okay with it. All right. And then it's probably going to go ahead and generate this too, which is beautiful. Cool. So we should have a couple files that just got generated, right? All right, but we do need to fix this. So for the font name, where is it? So what we're going to do, we're going to say path.get file name. File. Okay. So we'll delete that, and then we're going to let this go again, but I'm going to change that to brands because it should be brands. And then go ahead and run it. Okay. So everything should have been generated now. We have our brands file here. That's the file name. We have our prefix fab. The version is in fact unknown because we don't have a way of getting that at the moment. I mean, we could pull it. We could extract it from the CSS file. Not a great thing to do, but we'll figure it out eventually. All right, but that's generated, so that's awesome. So let's go ahead and copy this, and then we're going to paste, and this was duotone. Duotone. Fad. Val. Light. Okay. So, and then this was regular. Solid. Okay. Perfect. So now we're going to generate that automatically, or automagically. Haha. Delete that because we don't need to read it anymore. Get rid of our breakpoint. Let's just go ahead and hit run. Uh-oh. That's an awful lot that we didn't generate, isn't it? Of course, right after I deleted the Font Awesome CSS. Seems about right. Let me re-unarchive that and pull that back over. Copy. Font Awesome. Okay. Oops. Car building secondary. It didn't find it because it's legitimately not in there. Let's see how many we have here. Holy moly. I mean, we still got 1,861 in Font Awesome Solid. All right, we still have like 1,800 and something in Font Awesome Regular. And Font Awesome Light. Oh, I see. It was Font Awesome Duotone that it really didn't like. Because we got nothing. Absolutely freaking nothing from Font Awesome Duotone. And Font Awesome brands, we have like 400 and something. So let me see something. Duotone. So let's copy the duotone over. You know, I think I'm going to run this again. So here's what I think my problem is. In Duotone, I've got Font Awesome, like the main Font Awesome CSS. I'm going to try bringing in this duotone CSS. And we're going to try rerunning that. Same problem. Same darn problem. All right. Let me delete that. I just want to make sure. Right? Like it should. I want to make sure that we actually did see the duotone CSS. Let's run this again. Did it run? No. All right. Okay. So we just reran it, and now, so our duotone is still messed up, but does this show? No, it still shows font awesome. Why does it still show font awesome? All right. So let's do this. So on execute. Okay. You know, I really hate that. That's like kind of ugly. So hold on, let me see something. So I'm going to say full path equals new directory info full path dot full name, because I don't know, it's just my OCD, I guess. Like, is it really necessary? No. Obviously it's been working, right? But I would just, yes. See, that I like. Like, it's much easier to read that as I'm debugging. All right, so font awesome light. Okay. Font awesome duotone. Okay. Okay, so now we have our typeface. Let's look at the typeface real quick. What do we have? So the name is Font Awesome 5 Duotone Solid, so we're good there. If we look at the post table, we should have 3,000 703 glyphs. Good God. That is a massive, massive file. Alright, CSS Parser. What was our CSS file path? Duotone CSS. We're definitely reading that in. Oh, that's why I was generating the wrong. Okay. Now I know why I'm an idiot. Well, there are a lot of reasons I'm an idiot. But CSS file. CSS file. Okay. Get file name. All right, there we go. And I need to just go pass it in. Okay. So the first thing is delete that. I'm going to let this run. I want to make sure that it's generating the correct file for the font. Didn't I? Did it run? Thought I hit run. Yep. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Now we're showing the duotone CSS here. We still don't have our mappings, so we need to figure out why we don't have any mappings. So now we can come back. But at least like our generated files are kind of working, right? We just need to figure out why for the duotone something is different. I may not be able to do the duotone. I don't know. Okay, here's the duotone. So let's look at our typeface, post table, glyph names. So let's come into our CS now and look for, say, video. So there's 5 of them with video. We had what? Well, all these are saying primary. So if we come down, oh, primary and secondary. So I guess we could do a thing. All right, so we could do something here where we have a filter like, let's see, how are we going to do this? So we're going to say or name dot ends with dash secondary. Right, okay. Then we're going to say if name ends with primary, then we're going to say name equals name dot replace primary string dot empty. And I guess I could just kind of do that either way. Oh, I can't modify the name. Ah, crap. Let's see here. Say foo. So sanitized name. Let's just do that. Name dot replace primary with string dot empty, and then the sanitized name will drop in here and here and here. And here. Okay. Change that back. Let's go ahead and run this again. Go ahead and run. So this should be Font Awesome Light. Font Awesome Duo should be next. Perfect. Okay. So then we'll kind of come down here. Okay. So this name, non-marking return. So we're going to kind of expect that this is going to drop in here. Yep. I should probably do like a hack for non-marking return. Let's see. Glass martini primary. The same. Okay. So let me look for that. Glass martini. So we should be able to find that. Yes, we did. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and let that run. And then let's say or name equals there. Okay. Now if I run this again, I shouldn't have any, like we couldn't find blah, blah, blah. Beautiful. Okay. So now we should have everything generated. This should all be generated, and it is. There's an insane amount there. Beautiful. Okay. Cool. So that is pretty good. Let me see here. So the content. Now, how this Duo is actually going to work in a Xamarin app, I have no idea. Like, your guess is literally probably better than mine. Let's see here. Where did... Pro... Let's take the minified version. Copy... Oh. So we're going to paste that. We're going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. I'll run it again. Cool. All right. So we've generated that. And that should now say min. Yes, it does. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. And I need to change that. Hold on. Couple things actually I'm gonna have to fix on these. Let me see here. Let's see if we can make this work. Source. Go to the CS proj. There we go. And oh, we want here. There we go. Wow, it just happens to actually be the regular one. Cool. Font awesome. Regular. Oh, wait. No, this is the duotone. 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 So you may notice, by the way, I'm getting rid of this like embed the CSS, and the reason for that is I'm now referencing Xamarin.Forms 4.5, and in 4.5 they added some transitive build targets. And so what transitive build targets actually do for you is it allows me to reference a package that references a package that references a package that references Xamarin.Forms. And all of the build targets from Xamarin.Forms automatically bubble up to my project. That was not a thing until Xamarin.Forms 4.5. It meant that you had to have a direct package reference to Xamarin.Forms in order to get their build targets. So in the past, when I first started this project like 2 years ago, this all changed. Like, this was something where I had to natively embed everything, and it was kind of a pain. So, okay, so that's brands. Now we have, we gotta change the file name here. Light. I'm going to have to come back and add a package reference to everything. But let's kind of get this done first. Regular. Regular. Okay. Got that, got that. And then solid. Solid. And package reference. Yes, I can spell, really. Dot fonts version equals, what was it, 3 dot something or other. What is the latest version? Like, what was the version I published the other day? MobileToolkit dot fonts. Here. Okay. Okay. Add that, add that, add that. Beautiful. And then we don't need that. We do not have a solution file, so let's generate one. .NET new solution. .NET solution add source. You know, I really wish. Let me try. Oh yes, you can. Sweet. Haha. Beautiful. So that just added all the projects to the solution. So now I should be able to come over here into Visual Studio. And we should be able to open a project. All right, so cool. We have all of our projects, and let's just try to build them. See what happens. Hopefully they'll all build. It looks like they built. I can't tell for sure. Oh no, it's still building. So it looks like we had some errors, something about iFont couldn't be found. What? Oh, so I totally screwed up. Yes, that is true. I put the wrong package ID in here. So what that should be is forms.fonts. So let's fix that real quick, shall we? And then hopefully delete that. I guess we'll try forcing it to do a restore. Okay. Where are we? So let's come back. To a Nuget restore. I don't know if you've ever found this, but like sometimes Visual Studio just does not want to actually do a package restore, and it's very, very frustrating. Ah, crap. I wonder why. Like, it just wasn't giving me any proper IntelliSense here. So that's .forms. Place that. Now we should have the right package ID. Is it going to do the restore automatically? And we're going to have to do it from the command line. Oh, there we go. Still seems to be upset though. I found sometimes like just running a NuGet restore from the command line like really helps it. Of course, I also have to be careful because I do have this where I've got the Mac, I've got the PC. The files exist on the Mac with a network shared to the PC, and then that's how Visual Studio accesses it, which Visual Studio really hates, by the way. But sometimes I get like these competing things between Mac and Windows where one is trying to restore and the other is trying to restore, and which actually VS Code might be kind of hammering it right now. So you know what, let's just kind of do it from here. All right, let's say NuGet restore. Maybe. Bueller. Let's see. You know, I would just really, really like to take this moment to thank Microsoft for royally screwing up Visual Studio Code by changing the name of the C# extension. Like, just leave it be, for crying out loud. Anyway. MS build. Not that got broken, everybody. So now I get that freaking warning like 20 times because another extension is still referencing the old name. But I don't know what extension it was. So So I did the restore. Let's look at the package assets here. It legitimately found the correct package, sees the dependency. So why is it upset? Why is it breaking? I see red. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and close Visual Studio. We'll just work in Visual Studio Code. Sometimes a text editor is just a far superior IDE. Something is required. I caught that much, but it went by too fast for me. Okay, 20 errors. Was that all? Damn it. Uh-huh. Could have sworn when I generated all this that we generated it with the new line. So I kind of have like a thing where if it doesn't match certain static code analysis, the build fails, which is both good and bad. All right. Oh, and let me do this replace as well. Okay. So I'm going to come through here. We're going to delete these files. And we're going to regenerate them. Because that's the beauty about code generation, right? Is now this, by the way, is really simplistic, stupid code generation. Tomorrow, I'm going to have Jerome from the Uno team on, and we're going to talk about code generation, because the Uno team actually has a really great helper for doing code generation at Build. And so if you noticed earlier, I have a Prism Magician, and we're going to see if we can maybe make a magician for Prism that will generate some code for you at Build, so you don't have to do things via reflection in Prism, and we can just generate it when you build. At least that is the idea. Let's see here. So we have some. Okay, so let's run this again. The other thing you may notice, by the way, is I really hate \r\n. I just prefer \n. All right. We'll go ahead and get this going. So that should have regenerated everything. Let's take a look. Do we have our file here? Yes, we do. We have new line there. We should have a new line on here too at the very end, right? Yep, cool. So that was what it was actually complaining about before. So I'm going to try to rebuild, and hopefully this time it won't be as upset. Now it was saying something about 20 different errors, but what I think it was that you had one error on 4 different targets across 5 different, you had one different error across 5 different projects on 4 different target frameworks. And that's how I think you were getting the 20. But I did see another thing of red there, so we'll find out what's going on here. And we have 5 errors. Oh, okay. So this would be another pretty valid thing. Let me see. Oh no, I have MS Build SDK extras defined here. Oh, the AvantiPoint icon is not found. Hold on, I can fix that. Okay, try this again. So yeah, when I created this project, or like recreated it, because kind of like sometimes you don't just update things, sometimes you just kind of like rewrite, and this is kind of a rewrite from what I used to use. I've kind of archived the old code base, but I have certain files and templates and stuff that I kind of bring in. So like I have a rule set and build props, stuff like that I am kind of bringing across. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so I think we're okay there. Oh, it's upset because we didn't initialize this. So I'm going to reopen it in Visual Studio for a minute, because I want to just validate something here. Okay. So I have the bundled font, but if I look at the properties, why it keeps putting it over there. Build action none, don't copy. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. So I just want to make sure we didn't have some sort of funky thing coming in from Xamarin.Forms on that one. The CSS, that is going to be an embedded resource that comes from Xamarin.Forms. And then I've got the TTF that, can I just see the properties? Stop trying to render the damn thing. I don't care about that anymore. I've moved on. All right. So, and then that is an embedded resources as well. Perfect. So one final thing that I'm going to do here, I'm going to come over and say, so I'm going to take that, we'll copy it. We're going to say 5.13.0. So that is going to be a to-do for us, is to be able to generate that. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of like mass check this in. Let's say initial commit. And come back over here. I have a private repo for this already. So obviously this particular one is not going to be public, just because I have, well, because it's Font Awesome Pro and it's a paid thing, so I'm not going to make it easy for people to get. I don't really have a problem with making it available for people, but since Font Awesome Pro is a paid thing, you do need a license to use it. So get remote add origin, and then I can never remember, what is it? Get push you origin master. Okay. Cool. So that is up there. Okay, so that's that. Now let's take our little font generator thing that we've got going on here, and I'm going to do a couple more changes to it, but I'm going to create a repository for it. I'm going to say Mobile Toolkit Font Generator. For AP.Mobile.Toolkit Fonts. So we already kind of were messing with it here, so I'm just gonna come back over here. We're gonna say origin. There is my remote. Very simple thing here, right? Bundled font. That we're going to get rid of. Some things that we want to do real quick. Let's see here. Well, here, I guess I can do it on, I'll do it over here. I'll do it so you guys can see. So if I come over here, I got to remember how to do, like how I actually set this up before. So I did it in the mobile test utils. So let's take a look here. The console. So package tool and then command name. Okay, so that is what I want right there. We're going to say AP Font Gen. I'm going to rebuild. I might need to back this down to 3.1, and I might just do that. But I want to see how this handles the generate. Oh crap, that was not what I wanted. Nuget Package Explorer. So if you guys haven't looked at this before, there's a program called Nuget Package Explorer on Windows. That's actually really awesome. So it kind of lets you, well, just like the name says, explore Nuget packages. And we're going to look at the font generator. We didn't, so I'm not done yet. So it seems like you do have to have .NET 5 installed, so that's kind of ridiculous. I don't expect people to have .NET 5 installed yet. Well, that's interesting. Alright. So I'm going to change this to .NET Core App 3.1. We're going to say let me get rid of that. Save that. We'll come back over here. I'm going to populate some more stuff here. Well, actually, no. So I'm going to get rid of that. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Generates the mapping file and font definition file for icon font libraries using the AP.Mobile.Toolkit fonts. Oh, here. I'm just gonna, well, I'll strip it out. So we're gonna say Dan Siegel. Company is AvantiPoint. What was it? copy link address. And then Xamarin.Forms fonts. Okay. Okay. Generated all that. And I guess we need a new window over here. Okay, so what do we actually have in here? We have a README. That's interesting. All right. Oh, because I'm missing all of my normal directory build props and targets and stuff. We get a new terminal in here. Where's the AP.Mobile.Toolkit? Mm-hmm. Then we're gonna cp.AP.Mobile.Toolkit fonts, AvantiPoint icon. Okay. This should be kind of dead. So we're gonna delete that folder. We're going to do a Nuget restore. We're going to do ms build. Well, I was really happy with MASC. Did I change this back though? What is the error exactly? Maybe because I have Visual Studio open and it's fighting me? I don't know. Nuget restore. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Nope. Man, it got mad about something. Oh, is that all? It's only one or two errors, right? Not to worry, there's only 19,616 errors. I didn't copy over the rule sets and stuff. Hold on. AP.Mobile.Toolkit Fonts. Code coverage. Let's bring over the editor config. Probably want the get ignore. Yeah, we'll leave the GitHub thing on for right now. Oh, style copy we want. Okay. So let's try doing a build again. Hopefully we won't get 20,000 errors. This is one of those fix one problem, introduce 20 more. All right, so that is, we're down to 13,000. But as I'm looking, all of it is like the problem is entirely in just trying to think how we can. All right, I think I'm just going to turn off style cop. I think that is basically the solution to this. Because I'm bringing in dependencies I cannot control. Oh, I need to do a Nuget restore because it's gonna. Hold on. Nuget restore. Well, that brought us down to 19 errors. It's more manageable somehow. For fuck's sake. All right. So we're going to say rule. We're going to add some rules here. Rule ID equals CS 0649 action. We're going to say warning. What else do we have? I think it's just 649, right? Yeah, it looks like it. What? Just trying to see here where. Well, I'm going to have to figure out why that is going on. 12:20. But I have been streaming for quite a while, and I need to go get something to eat because I have not eaten yet today. So, if you are one of the troopers who has been here for a very long time, thank you so very much for joining me today. And I do hope that you will tune in tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow morning, I'm going to be having Jerome from the Uno team on to talk a little bit of code gen. And I do hope to see you guys there. Wherever you may happen to be, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will definitely catch you guys later. Have a good one. Thanks so much.